Hey, what's up, everybody? Frederick Pogue here. So, today I want to talk about civil rights and why, well, they should be the thing that you fight for tooth and nail in a free society. And you should always fight for everybody's civil rights, even if you disagree with them. So, with that in mind, I want to talk about a gentleman named Mahmoud Khalil, a graduate student on a green card at Columbia University. And I apologize if I mispronounced Mr. Khalil's name. No disrespect intended. So recently, I think this past Saturday, he was rounded up, arrested, scheduled for deportation, even though he's a green card holder. And it's without trial, basically without due process. And his wife had no idea where he went. I think now they're reporting he's in a detention center in Louisiana for whatever reason. Because, well, that's just how the Trump regime operates. You know, they don't care about your civil rights. Now, I want to take a second on just to clarify something. I'm not on the campus protest side. The Palestinian-Israeli conflict, from a foreign policy perspective, from their domestic policy, is a quagmire of a mess. It is hard to suss out. There is no easy answer for that, not a little bit. And the reason I'm not really on the campus protest side is, this whole Genocide Joe thing and calling Kamala a war criminal. I think it did more hurt to their cause than it helped, especially since it got Trump elected. Well, it may not have helped him, but it certainly didn't hurt him, But a lot of that is just Monday morning quarterbacking BS, I understand why they were, up in arms. I get it. The Palestinian people were suffering brutally, and it was being justified. And I get the anger that happened from the attack in October for the Israelis. I get it. I don't really have a strong stance on that one. It's kind of over my head, But I bring all that up to say this. I may not agree with the tactics, and I may not agree with maybe parts, but I support those students' right to protest. I support due process for Mahmoud Khalil, 100%. And we have to. There's no alternative. Even if you disagree with them, even if you disagree with some of their methods, if they're not really stepping outside the law, well, they did break the law, Fred, it was trespassing. Don't give me that crap. This lawfare or weaponization of the law, come on, man. That's where our civil rights should take precedent. And the right wing should understand that. That was the whole point of conservatism, right? You stand with the individual over this, government overreach. And I don't care if you're undocumented or you're a documented student, you come to this shore, you get to operate under the umbrella of the United States civil liberties. You have the right to protest. And the whole point of that is the fact that they can experience that, they can take that back to their home countries. That's why we had all these universities. It's a part of spreading democracy through education. That's why they're here. That's why we allow international students to come here. And this is a problem with this precedent sets, right? I'm not a fan of the slippery slope fallacy and just throwing it out willy-nilly, but that's what this is. It is a slippery slope. Because if you accept this to Mahmoud Khalil, you accept that to him, You accept that for George Floyd. You accept that for police brutality. You accept that for what they're trying to do in Texas to erase trans folks from existence with the bill they're trying to pass there. You accept that for them taking bodily autonomy away from women. You accept all kinds of horrible stuff because you think, well, I'm special. That'll never happen to me. Oh, son, it'll happen to you. If they can do it to Mr. Khalil, they can do it to you too. There's a reason we have due process. There's a reason we have civil rights. And they're supposed to apply to everybody, not just citizens. They should apply to everybody that's on our shore. You have a right to a fair trial. You have a right to express your side. And you have a right to do it in daylight. We wouldn't have known about George Floyd if it wasn't for a brave young woman that filmed it. He would have just been another statistic. There's a whole bunch of other George Floyds running around out there that we don't know about. There's probably a bunch of Mr. Khalil's running around out there that we don't know about because he never made the news. This is the kind of thing that happens. And it's something we all, I don't care what political stripe, if we're Americans, we need to take a stand against it. Whether you agree with them or not, because it affects us all. And that's why I keep saying you need to support trans folks. You need to support women. You need to support people of color. You need to support all those folks because it reinforces everybody's rights. So that's why I'm making this video. We need to do what we can to make some noise and get Mr. Khalil back to his wife, back to his family, back to school where he can go about doing what he needs to do. Because that's the America I want to live in. And I hope it's the America you want to live in. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Keep the faith, defend democracy, and I'll see you later.